Sultan Mehmed II, also known as Mehmed the Conqueror, was one of the most significant rulers in the history of the Ottoman Empire and world history at large. Born on March 30, 1432, in Edirne, he was the son of Sultan Mehmed II and Mehmed Hatun. His life was marked by ambition, military prowess, and a vision that transformed the Ottoman Empire into a dominant global power. The pinnacle of his achievements was the conquest of Constantinople in 1453, an event that not only marked the end of the Byzantine Empire but also reshaped the course of history. This video explores Mehmed II's personal life, his path to power, and the historic conquest of Constantinople. Mehmed II's early life was shaped by the turbulent political landscape of the Ottoman Empire and his father Sultan Mehmed II's reign. He was the fourth son of Mehmed II, and his upbringing was typical for an Ottoman prince. From a young age, Mehmed was immersed in a rigorous education that encompassed both religious studies and the arts of war and governance. His father ensured that Mehmed was taught by some of the most renowned scholars and military experts of the time. He studied Arabic, Persian, and Latin, alongside mathematics, astronomy, and military strategy. Mehmed also had a deep interest in classical literature, particularly the works of ancient Greek and Roman authors, which were instrumental in shaping his worldview. At the age of 12, Mehmed was appointed as the governor of the province of Manisa, a common practice for Ottoman princes to gain experience in administration and leadership. However, his father's decision to abdicate the throne in 1444 and allow young Mehmed to become the sultan led to significant challenges. Mehmed's first reign was short-lived, as his youth and inexperience made it difficult to manage the empire's complex political and military affairs. Sultan Mehmed II was eventually forced to return to the throne to address the looming threat posed by the Crusade of Varna, a military campaign led by European forces against the Ottomans. Despite this early setback, Mehmed's brief initial exposure to ruling the empire was invaluable. He learned the harsh realities of power, the importance of military strength, and the intricate dynamics of court politics. These lessons would later prove crucial in his successful reign. Mehmed II ascended to the throne for the second time in 1451, following the death of his father. This time, he was better prepared and more determined. At 19 years old, Mehmed was not only physically strong but also intellectually mature and strategically astute. He quickly set about consolidating his power, neutralizing potential rivals, and laying the groundwork for his long-held ambition, the conquest of Constantinople. One of Mehmed's first acts as sultan was to solidify his authority by securing peace treaties with neighboring states, such as Hungary and Venice. These treaties allowed him to focus his resources on the Byzantine capital, which had long been a symbol of Christian power in the East and a coveted prize for Muslim rulers. Mehmed knew that capturing Constantinople would not only secure his legacy but also transform the Ottoman Empire into a dominant global force. The conquest of Constantinople stands as one of the most significant moments in history, securing Mehmed II's place as one of the greatest military leaders of all time. For centuries, Constantinople had been the crown jewel of the Byzantine Empire, a city celebrated for its rich culture, strategic location, and nearly impenetrable defenses. As the last stronghold of the once powerful Byzantine Empire, it remained a symbol of Christian power in the East, despite being surrounded on all sides by expanding Ottoman territories. Mehmed II understood the magnitude of the challenge before him. The city's legendary defenses, particularly the formidable Theodosian walls, had repelled invaders for centuries. But Mehmed, ambitious and determined, was confident he could succeed where others had failed. His preparations for the siege were both meticulous and innovative. He knew that brute force alone would not be enough to breach Constantinople's defenses. So, he focused on cutting off the city from external help and introduced new military strategies to ensure victory. To achieve his ambitious goal of conquering Constantinople, Mehmed II employed a series of carefully planned military strategies that would revolutionize siege warfare. First, he focused on the fortification of the Bosporus. One of Mehmed's earliest moves was the construction of the Rumeli fortress, also known as Rumeli Hisari, on the European side of the strait. This imposing fortress sat directly across from the Anadolu Hisari on the Asian side, creating an unbreakable barrier. With both fortresses controlling the Bosporus, Mehmed effectively sealed off any chance of naval support reaching Constantinople from the Black Sea. But the true genius of Mehmed's military preparations lay in his artillery innovations. Knowing that the massive Theodosian walls had repelled attackers for centuries, Mehmed commissioned the creation of enormous cannons, the most famous being Orban's cannon, also known as the basilica. These colossal weapons fired massive stone balls, powerful enough to shatter even the strongest of fortifications. For the first time in history, walls that had once seemed invincible were vulnerable. Naval strategy was equally crucial to Mehmed's plan. He recognized that controlling the waters around Constantinople was essential for his success. To this end, he expanded the Ottoman navy, deploying a powerful fleet to enforce a blockade around the city. This naval blockade cut off Constantinople from the outside world, ensuring that no reinforcements or supplies could reach the beleaguered defenders. Beyond military force, Mehmed II was a master of diplomatic and psychological warfare. He secured peace treaties with neighboring Christian states like Hungary and Venice, ensuring that they would not intervene during the siege. Meanwhile, Mehmed sowed seeds of doubt and fear within the city, using misinformation and spreading rumors to demoralize Constantinople's defenders. The psychological pressure was immense, creating an air of inevitability around the Ottoman victory, long before the final assault had even begun. With these bold strategies in place, Mehmed II was ready to launch his attack and change the course of history. The siege of Constantinople began on April 6, 1453. Mehmed's army, numbering between 80,000 and 100,000 troops, surrounded the city. Inside the walls, Emperor Constantine XI led a significantly smaller force of around 7,000 to 10,000 defenders, including foreign mercenaries. Despite the disparity in numbers, the defenders were determined, knowing that the fall of the city would mark the end of the Byzantine Empire. The initial Ottoman assaults focused on breaching the Theodosian walls. The artillery bombardment, led by the basilica cannon, was relentless, and over the weeks, the walls began to show signs of weakening. However, the Byzantine defenders, led by the capable Genoese commander Giovanni Giustiniani, managed to repair the breaches and hold off the Ottoman infantry. One of the most dramatic moments of the siege came when Mehmed ordered his ships to be transported overland on greased logs, bypassing the massive chain that blocked the entrance to the Golden Horn. This audacious move allowed him to attack the city from a new front, further stretching the already thin defenses of Constantinople. As the siege wore on, the city's defenders grew weary. The relentless bombardment from Mehmed's cannons took its toll, and by late May, the walls were beginning to crumble. On the night of May 28, 1453, Mehmed launched a final, decisive assault. The Janissaries, the elite troops of the Ottoman Empire, led the charge. After fierce fighting, they breached the walls and poured into the city. Emperor Constantine XI is said to have died in the fighting, his body never found, a poignant end to the Byzantine Empire. By the morning of May 29, Constantinople had fallen, and Mehmed II rode triumphantly into the city. Mehmed's first act upon entering Constantinople was to head to the Hagia Sophia, the grand cathedral that had stood at the heart of the city for nearly 1,000 years. He declared it a mosque, a powerful symbol of the city's transformation from a Christian stronghold to an Islamic one. But Mehmed was not content with mere conquest. He saw himself as the inheritor of the Roman legacy, and he set about restoring and revitalizing the city. He invited people of all backgrounds, Muslims, Christians, and Jews, to settle in the city, fostering a vibrant, cosmopolitan atmosphere that would define Istanbul for centuries to come. The fall of Constantinople was a turning point in history. It marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and the rise of the Ottoman Empire as a dominant force in the world. But its impact was felt far beyond the borders of the empire. The conquest spurred European nations to seek new trade routes to the east, leading directly to the age of exploration. The world was entering a new era, and Mehmed II had played a pivotal role in shaping it. And so, the fall of Constantinople marked the beginning of Mehmed II's legacy as Mehmed the Conqueror, but this was just the start of his remarkable military career. While the capture of Constantinople was his most famous victory, Mehmed's ambitions extended far beyond the city's walls. In our next video, we'll dive deeper into the other legendary expeditions and military campaigns that further solidified his place in history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.